Howdy my friends, and welcome back to Markelly Farm here in Nebraska. My cousin's kid, they're having a bake sale up at the school tomorrow during one of the volleyball games, and they're trying to raise money for their school class. They use it to put on different events and for prom and all that stuff. It's good that they're raising their own money for that. So we're going to do some baking to participate in that bake sale so they can raise a little money. So stick around, we'll show you what we're going to do. Now we're going to make 3 different items. We're going to make 2 kinds of muffins. We're going to make a triple chocolate chip muffin. We're going to make a hornet's nest muffin. And we're going to make up a bunch of our Portuguese sweetbread because people up there go crazy for that. And they always say there's never enough. I never can get any because people bid too high. Well, that's the idea. So we're going to make some. I'm going to make a little bit for Mom, so I'll make enough for that. And I want to give some to my Tia Teresa because she's my dad's sister from Portuguese side, so she'll really love a pan of that sweetbread as well. So we'll make enough to give for them. But right now we're going to make the ovens. We're going to put the sweetbread together tonight so we can bake it tomorrow. So let's get on these muffins. We've got our oven preheating to 350. And then we have our really big, like Costco size muffin pan out, and this will take a whole cake mix. If you're making like a cake mix recipe, these 6 will use up that whole mix. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our mixing container here. We're going to use our big 8-cup mixing measuring bowl, and then we're going to weigh this thing, and we're going to do this in grams so the math is easier. So we need to zero it out first and then put it on here. So 1,336 grams. So we're going to write that number down. We're going to start off with our hornet's nest muffins. So we need 1 package of instant vanilla pudding. We're going to mix it with 2 cups of whole cold milk. And we're going to whip it really good with just with a wire whisk, and then we'll let it set 5 minutes to thicken up. You want to whisk this for 2 minutes straight before you let it set for your 5 minutes, and it'll thicken up in that 5 minutes. Alright, 2 minutes is up. You can see how it got pretty thick in there. So we'll set this for 5 minutes, let her sit. It's weird how a lot of things I do bring back memories from my childhood. I remember I was in 3rd grade with Mrs. Cantrell, and she was having the class make pudding. It's like when instant pudding first came out, and she brought one of those little shaker jars with the little thing in it that mixes things up. And she mixed the pudding with the milk, and she was passing it around to everybody in the class, and everybody got a chance to shake the pudding up, and we were all going to share the pudding when it was done. Well, it came to me, and I was just going to go crazy and just really shake that thing up and do a great job. Well, I shook it really hard, and the lid flew off, and I had pudding all over the front of me, and because I was at school, I couldn't go change clothes or anything. And I had to walk around the rest of the day with like pudding stuck in my clothes. It was a mess. Now once 5 minutes has elapsed, you're going to take just a regular old yellow cake mix, and you're going to dump the whole container of cake mix in here. You're not going to add the eggs, the oil, none of that other stuff. You're going to add it right to that pudding. Alright, in goes our cake mix, the whole bag. I'm going to stir that till it's combined. If you've got a few lumps, that is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright folks, here's the secret to making perfectly even muffins. We hit the power on our scale again, still on grams, and we reweigh with our mix in here. So we're coming up to 2236. So we take our total amount and we subtract our previous amount with just the bowl. So we've got our total now, 2236. Our previous total was 1336. So we subtract that, we came up with 900. And because we have 6 muffins in our pan, we divide that by 6. We come up with 150 grams. So we're going to put our muffin dish on the scale now. We'll zero it out and we'll put 150 grams in each cupcake hole. We'll zero it out and then do another 150 grams in the next hole, and all of our muffins will turn out perfectly the same size. So we've zeroed our scale out. Get yourself a little spatula, and then we'll go with 150 or pretty close. That's 48. That's 84. $116. You want to go a little bit at a time there towards the end. Spread out your mix a little bit. That's 138, just a little bit more. 150 right on the dot. So zero out your scale and do it again. Now we've got our perfectly proportioned muffin. So now we need to take some butterscotch chips, one package, 11 ounces, and we put it on the gram scale. We turned it into grams, so and divided it by 6. So we need about 50 grams in each cup. So we've got the scale zeroed, and we'll add 50 grams of these chips to the top. I guess we'll just sprinkle this way. There we go. Zero it again. Now next ingredients is about a cup of chopped pecans. You don't have to weigh these. You just sprinkle them on there till they almost cover. You can just barely see the butterscotch chips through it. And that's what makes it look like a hornet's nest on top. And then when you bake this, some of that's going to slip down into those muffins. And I always, before I do the pecans, I like to make sure all of the butterscotch chips are inside the paper cup, because I don't want them melting and running down behind the cup. But it's okay to get these pecans outside. They're just fine. So in the 350 degree oven, we're going to put these. They're going to go for about 20 to 25 minutes. You want it to where if you push on the top, it springs back, and then they're done. Now, if you don't have a scale or don't want to use a scale, you don't have to get all crazy OCD like me. Just spoon it into the cups and then spoon them around all 6 until it all looks the same. It's the same thing, but I thought I'd show you kind of a different way. That works really well if you're doing 2 cake rounds, because you can get the exact same amount of cake in each round. You don't have one thicker than the other, so that would be a good way to use that also. So the timer is set for 20 minutes. We'll check it. If it needs to go a little longer, we'll leave it a little longer. Now, I get kind of a moral dilemma when I'm cooking stuff now, because Kelly and I have dropped out a lot of our processed foods that we ate, and you can't get much more processed than the stuff that goes into this recipe. But I got to realize that not everybody's on our diet, and if I take a bunch of crazy healthy stuff, it's not going to sell very well at the bake sale, because people still want that sugary sweet kick, I guess. So I kind of got to weigh my options, and if I want the class to make some good money, I got to make these sinful desserts, even though I don't eat them. All right, there's our hornet's nest muffins. They actually took about 30 minutes to get done. So we're going to let these cool for a little bit to where we can take them out of the pan, because this is the only big pan I have. And then we'll make our triple chocolate muffins. Well, I guess I got to wait till they're completely cool, because that's what happens. They're not all the way cool yet, and it broke apart. So it looks like only 5 muffins going to the bake sale in this batch. All right, we've got our pan back. We were able to get our cooled muffins out. So we're going to start with the same process, 2 cups of whole milk, but this time we're going to use chocolate pudding. Mix for 2 minutes. Let stand for another 5 minutes again. Now we're going to fold in 1 whole chocolate cake mix right into that pudding, scraping the sides of the bowl. Got her all put together. Now this recipe, we're going to dump a whole bag of semi-sweet chips right into the mix. Now this time I want to try my disher. This batter is pretty thick, and to get it to spoon into those cups can be a chore. So let's give this a try. Fill our disher up, almost heaping. Yeah, that's pretty easy there. Just dip it right in there, and then whatever we have left we'll split amongst those 6 cups. All right, folks, look at those beautiful triple chocolate muffins. Let's get those into the oven. These are going to smell amazing, just like those last ones did. Our triple chocolate muffins are out of the oven. Going to let those cool completely. Meanwhile, we've already wrapped our hornet's nest muffins. I'm going to give this one to my cousin. This one fell apart. I've got another basket here to put the next batch in. Hopefully they'll all fit in there. Now these muffin recipes can also be used as cakes. It'll work just fine. And you probably already determined that you can, plenty of room to change these up. You can change the flavor of the pudding, you can change the flavor of the cake, you can put whatever kind of chips you want in them, because there's a bunch of different kinds of chips, different nuts. You can just go crazy with these things. There's our chocolate muffins. You can see how they're a little indented in the middle. That means the middle didn't get all the way done. We'll just call them triple chocolate lava cake muffins. How about that? Kelly's almost home. We about got supper ready. We're making chicken soup with pasta rags. All it is the same recipe I made for my neighbor the other day with the freezer meals. I'm using the rest of the white meat chicken. We used the rest of the lasagna noodles. I broke them into 3 pieces. Those white noodles are really good. So we're adding the chicken in because everything else is done. And that's supper right there. Good stuff. Got our triple chocolate lava muffins all packaged up. Now we're going to start on our Portuguese sweetbread. It's late at night. It's before bed. We're going to put this together kind of cold, so it rises really slow. We'll get up early in the morning and punch it down, and then we'll be baking bread in the morning. This recipe's already in the playlist, so I won't go through it all with you. Got our bread dough all made up. We did a double batch, I probably told you already. So we're going to get this covered up, and probably in the middle of the night, it'll be risen double. It'll fill this whole bowl. We'll punch it down, cover it back up, rise it double again, and then probably by morning or around 4 o'clock or so, we'll be able to punch it down and form our rolls, and then rise it a 3rd time. Folks, it's About 2:15 in the morning, and our bread has rose double. I'll punch it down. Cover it back up and do that again. It won't take near as long though this time. Well, it is now 5 a.m. There's our bread again. Time to get our bread on. So, punchy, punchy, punchy. Back down in here. We're going to start forming our bread up and putting it in our pans. All right, we got 6 pans of our sweetbread rolls. And then with the bread that I had left over, I made 7 runzas for Kelly to take to work. These are traditional runzas with the cabbage and the hamburger meat we had left over. And then I made 3 pizza runzas with pepperoni and sauce and some mozzarella cheese. Alright, we just sent Kelly off to work with the runzas for her crew. All these are just about ready to bake. We'll give them about another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll get them in the oven. Meanwhile, it's coffee time. Been a long night. Things I do for these kids. Let's check on our bread. I think we're ready to rock. Let's get 2 of these in the oven. They're going to cook for about 20 minutes or so. There's our bread in the oven. We'll come back about halfway through and we'll rotate these because sometimes during that side it'll get a little more brown on the sides, and we want them to look even. We've turned the oven down to 325 for these rolls. First batch is out of the oven. Brush the tops with a little bit of butter. Don't those look amazing? Should bring a good price at the bake sale. Alright, all of our bread's out. We'll see you at the bake sale tonight. I'll be up there flipping burgers also. So let's see how much all of our baked goods go for, see how much we raise for the class. Well, we made it back from volleyball. The girls didn't win, but they had a good bake sale. The junior class made a lot of money on that stuff. I think just the stuff that we brought in $120, so that was cool. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed coming along with us. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Love you guys. Come back and see us here at the farm.